For most of my life, I've dealt with Crohn's disease, and all the side effects that come with that. And I had a really horrible hospital experience when I was like 24. I was in there in and out for like a year, and bad surgery, bad surgeon, and everything like that. And I had just a really, really bad weekend at one point. And I had gone to the gym, and I ran into someone else who comes here. And so that day, I just noticed a change in him, and we started talking, and he was telling me he was doing this and how much it's helped him and things like that. And I got more information about it, about how it's not something that you just continuously take, and it's something that can actually rebuild and make things healthy. I think that was the most attractive part to me, is that there's a way of, because when you get put on antidepressants, it's like, okay, you can get off when you start feeling better, but nobody really knows because you're on a drug. And so talking to him and saying, you do these treatments and it helps rebuild. It convinced me to give it a try. And I realized at that point that my brain just felt healthier, and I didn't have this whole visual, you do when you go under and stuff like that, but I didn't have that come to Jesus moment. But at the same time, I was just feeling better. And it was the first time in my life that like somebody had put me on like some sort of antidepressant or something, and you just didn't feel like something was taking care of it for you. The nurse is amazing. She just makes you feel like, at one point I even asked them, I was like, I'm not sure if she likes me or she's just really good at, making your patients feel like they're friends, stuff like that. I've never come in here and felt at all anxious. Like, it's like from the time I came in, you're just kind of taken care of. And instead of walking in a room and worrying about everything, I'm actually walking in a room and noticing who's there. Because, I tend to be like, I'm called aloof. So I'll walk, if I'm focused on something, I'm going to walk in and get it done. Where instead, now I walk in and I'll smile and I'll talk to people, and I've always been that way, but it was really drastic change. So that's the real difference. I want to do things, when people ask, hey, you want company or you want me to come over and stuff like that, instead of being like, no, I'm like, yeah, okay, come on over. Not to mention my house was a disaster. Like, when you are in that, you're so overwhelmed. And I tend to be the person that instead of getting things, I always used to get things done right away, but everything, no matter how small, seemed like this huge mountain. And I find myself now just doing things, and not worrying about how long they're going to take, or will I be able to finish it in time, or should I do this today because I'm not going to be able to complete the whole thing. For years of being somebody with health issues and years of having bandaids, actually feeling something improving, and it's really hard to explain, because it helps, with firing all that, getting that stuff firing again, and it's natural, that to me is the best way to convince somebody, because you don't have to have this big moment. I felt myself healing, regardless of whether or not it was, speaking to like a therapist and getting it all out. Even if I did that, I was able to get it out. But before, I couldn't see clearly. And I think that is, to me, the biggest selling point, that healing, that being able to feel your brain actually getting better. Rarely when it comes to medical stuff do we actually feel it getting better. It's take these pills, call me, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, okay, it's better. But it's like having an injury on to your leg or your knee, and okay, now I can balance better. I can do that. It was the same thing with the brain. And it's not a muscle. It's not that same thing you think of that way. You know what I mean? That we're going to feel the rehab making this improvement because now I can, walk without, a brace, or I can do all this stuff. This was just getting better. But I've had people just walk up to me and say, like, you've changed so much in the last, what's going on? Like, everybody thinks I'm dating somebody, because of course that's what's going to fix you. But it's not. I'm just feeling better.